now we are moving on to the first panel discussion. So the topic of the first panel discussion is recruitment in digital construction opportunities and challenges. So many countries around the globe have identified BIM as a mandate because of the various benefits it has to offer. That in turn has led to an option of opportunities, but the industry is facing a shortage of skilled resources to fulfill their requirements. As a responsible skilling agency, BIMLABS work closely with industry to understand the project requirements and skills they are expecting from the resources they want to hire. The panel discussion will showcase the opportunities and challenges within the industry during the recruitment and upskilling process to make the people ready for project execution. During the discussion, we will be addressing the following points. Number one, how BIM and digital construction redefining the construction industry. Number two, BIM projects and business opportunities around the globe. Number three, BIM projects and adoption in India. Number four, challenges facing in resource hiring in BIM and digital construction. Number five, how critical the role of BIM professionals in a project. Number six, industry consideration for placements on fresh BIM engineers. And number seven, advice to students community who are targeting a career in digital construction. So we hope the session will enlighten the academia and student community to prepare themselves to address the industry. So now let's welcome our panelists. Our first panelist is Mr. Prasad Govindan, Director of Operation Robot Design Services. Our second panelist is Mr. Babu Gopalakrishnan, General Manager, India, Eurosia. Our third panelist is Mr. Shreeram, Planning Engineer, Bond Interiors. And finally, let's invite the moderator for the panel discussion, Mr. Vinod Narayanan, Chairman, National Institute of Personnel Management. Now I'm handing the control over to the moderator. Sir, the crowd is yours.
Thank you. Respected speakers and distinguished guests, students community and BIMLABS leaders. First of all, congratulations to BIMLABS for celebrating the 5th anniversary. And I am really impressed with the way they are celebrating the 5th anniversary. Normally what happens in organizations, these kind of celebrations are just limited to an evening meeting with the employees, maybe in a hotel they may be gathering. But now the BIMLAB is doing the anniversaries in a very different way. They are using this opportunity to share the knowledge and know what is happening in the industry. That way it's a great opportunity for all of us to meet, share and the knowledge and understand what is going on. So once again, a great big salute to the BIMLAB team. Thank you. And now, from the morning onwards, we were listening to the various agencies, government agencies, and also the private organizations providing the various skill development programs or education programs for the students. I'm really surprised to know that when Mr. Deshpande was telling here by 2030 the requirement of students or the workers or the employees in construction area would be something around 20 crores. And now I was thinking, what is the problem? What is the problem here? We have jobs. There are a lot of opportunities are coming up. And also, the kind of initiatives that ASAP is coming up. I was really interested with the craft skilling program. See how they are designing the program. They are catching all the millennials. Millennials are the people who wants to do the work. They want to enjoy the work. That is the speciality of millennials. And they are coming up with the courses where they will enjoy and they will learn. such kind of fantastic programs are coming up. Lot of opportunities, lot of avenues to explore. So morning onwards, we were listening to all those, the opportunities or the industries or the companies are giving. And now we are moving to the next session. We have all these programs. We have all the students community. And now, where they are going? They are going to industries. So what the industries are looking for? There is a lot of knowledge is there and a lot of things are there, but when they are appearing an interview, what happens is they are not being selected. And in the morning, one of the speakers was telling that there is all the companies are asking for the experience. Even no company is giving the experience, the job, how they will get the experience. The reality is, we have a lot of courses, lot of programs like this, but when they are going for a job, they are not getting that. I am from HR community. I am a human resource director. And what we are simply looking for in a candidate is only three things we are looking for: knowledge, skill, and attitude. Maybe being a HR professional, I will be more looking into the third thing, the attitude. That is something I am more looking for. Because knowledge, we can educate them. Skill, we can enhance. But attitude, we cannot bring. That is something I am looking in. But there may be a lot of things. When I say about attitude, if you are looking for an industry, maybe maybe 20 years before, what an employer is looking for is the loyalty. He should be with me for lifelong time. That is what an organization is looking for. But now, no one is looking for loyalty, because any organization, we will change the organization. I think if you are not changing the organization, I'm not talking about the government organization. If you are not changing the private organization in a 3 years or 5 years time, it means you are not good for a good job. This is what the concept is. And really happening among the youngsters, that is what happening. Now our job is to attract them. So that's a different thing. When I say about loyalty, it is not at all being there. Now, an example, a simple example I will give you. In my company, we have introduced a bonus called a loyalty bonus based on the services a person completes. This we started, I think, 10 or 15 years before, and we are continuing that. And in this year, when we are thinking about giving the loyalty bonus, one of the managers said, "Sir, please change that name. We don't have any loyalty." And if you are giving this to the youngsters, they will say that, please change that name and give this money in some other form. They don't want loyalty. So now the HR team is brainstorming what name should be given. So this is a reality I am telling. This is not job, this is a reality. So what industry is looking for? What is specifically looking for? That is what we are going to listen from this panelist. And we have, the eminent speakers here. Mr. Prasad Govindan from Robert Design Services. And we have Babu Gopalakrishnan from Eurosia. And we have Shreeram from Board Interiors. So they will be telling us what industry is looking for. One more example I will give you. When you are interviewing a candidate for accountant post, what an employer is looking for is not that, maybe he is looking into whether he knows the debit credit entry, that of course we will look into. But if that person is not able to draw a check, is not eligible for the accountant. This has happened in one of my interviews. Earlier, I was asking interviewing a person for an accountant. When I asked how to draw a check, he doesn't know about that. But he knows all the accounting process. So simple knowledge, simple practical thing that we are looking for. Now, the contest is, what are the recruitment challenges in BIM? and what the industry is looking for. That is our topic. Now our panelists will speak first, and 3 of them will speak, and listen to them, and then after that we will have a Q&A session. And during the Q&A session, you can clear your doubts, and also you can equip what they are actually looking for. Okay. So thank you very much. And now I invite Sri Prasad Govindan from Robert Design Services for the presentation. Thank you.
Hi all. Thank you for inviting this forum, BIMLABS, especially Mr. Shibu, and congrats to all BIMLABS team. And big thank you because because I was struggling when we starting the robot design service in Kerala. It's a short story, I'll just tell you. Robot design service actually, it was a part of Roberts Construction based in an Australian company. It's a contracting firm. It's a 100% back office for their design, BIM and engineering. We have started on 2020 February in Infopark Quality with 20 numbers of staff. So my first challenge was to searching or getting the right candidate for our business. Then I was searching around 5-10 institutions in around in Thrissur and Ernakulam. I didn't get like exact person to suit our profile. Then finally I went to BIM Global. Then I got few CVs within a day. I got 10-15 CVs. Then I went to there. Then I got 3 people from them. They don't have any experience. They just completed the course. So still that 3 people are working with us. And I have taken from them as a trainee. Now one of them as a team lead and one of the other 2 of them as a senior BIM modelers. So I'm very thankful to BIM Global, BIMLABS for that. Okay, the first thing that I want to say that. Then the challenges. Anyway, we have 1.5 hours. So I'll come to that point next session. So let them introduce everyone. Then is that okay? Okay. So challenges. Everyone says that the right candidates. I already explained that. We will not get the right people because each business they want to start the productivity from their staff from the day one. Then only that will be profitable. But this is not a practical thing. All over the world, all the students, they will complete their course. They will get a basic education. They will not train for the industry requirement because at least they need a 6 months. At least they need a 3 months for training for that. Then only they will get a exact knowledge of what they want to deliver or the application of what they have studied and what they want to deliver. So that all knowledge they want to. They will get it from when they join the firm, then they will get it. Then another challenge was when they join to a firm, like for example, Roberts Design Services is doing a business that we were doing the BIM modeling. Maybe another Eurosia is doing different business. So they have a different requirement. So we got the basic knowledge, but exact requirement of that tool application that will be different for each firm. Okay, so that's the challenge actually. Then within that completing that training, the people will leave the company. Then another challenge. So Mr. Vinod was saying that the loyalty was not the current generation. The people are not that much loyal because within 6 months they want to earn money big fast. And within a short frame, they want to be lot of money within a short time. Then they will look at another opportunity. So that's the biggest challenge now. But luckily or unfortunately or fortunately, we robot design services, the people are staying there. I don't know what's the reason, but we we are giving the opportunity to grow them with us, with our business, and we give the flexibility of work, so the people are staying there. So that's another challenge of the people need to be still loyal at the current situation. Then only the business need to be out, because the recruitment is the main challenge of the business. Every 3 months or 6 months the people are leaving the company and another people are coming. This will not help the companies to grow in a professional way. So that's the first point I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasad. Actually, the issue that he is facing is like, when he takes a person, he has to train the person, and when the training is going on, there are chances that he may leave the organization. So this is some specific problem that he is facing from the industry. Okay. Thank you, Prasad. And now we will move to Babu Gopalakrishnan, please.
Good morning, all of you. First, I would like to thank BIMLABS for having this new opportunity. A good way for us to interact, and I feel happy to be amongst you today. Yes, so I'll quickly tell you about Eurosia, my company, and of course, what are the different career opportunities which we as a company offer. And finally, I will also tell you what are the challenges we are facing, and I will also leave it to the panelists over here to give me some advice on that. Eurosia, we are a part of a global company called as Equans Digital Services. It's a European company, and we are into a lot of digital technologies, you can name it. We in India, we basically do primarily BIM modeling over here. Of course, your scan to BIM activities first. We also work with our European project managers on real-time projects. So once the project manager gives us any activity, the team in India does the entire modeling activities and all the back-end activities what is required for the construction industry. This is something we do. Apart from this, we also work with our companies in UK, US who work on real-time projects. So when there are projects happening over there real-time, there are services which will have to be updated on a regular basis. So we get the inputs by say evening time 5:36 or when the US starts working, and by the end of the night shift the models are updated and it goes back. So next day morning the project managers in that place has got the ready model for him to start his real-time construction activities. So this is in just what Eurosia as a company does. In terms of the career opportunities what we have, we look for project managers with experience in real-time construction. It's definitely a challenge. I'm not getting these people in India. And second, even if I get these kind of people, bring them to Trivandrum is another challenge which I'm facing. So yes, that's of course a person who's with more than 10 to 15 years of experience, who understands construction completely, who's aware of all the different rules or the laws what are required in Europe and US. This is what I'm primarily looking for as a project manager. Of course, he should be able to use BIM as a technology, as a service for any of the requirements my customer has. Second, we have team leaders, a person who will be looking after different functions, managing teams, 10 to 15 people, delivering projects within the required time frame. This is the second kind of person which I'm looking as a team leader. Below him will be those coordinators who are working on specific projects. These people will also be interacting with my end customer who is there, might be in some other continent, getting the requirements, understanding the needs, and while the models are being created, you might have different questions to be raised, different queries to be asked. This is another activity which is being done by the coordinators. Then we have specific quality managers. Not from the concept of an industry quality. Over here, what this person does, he will be looking at the different services, doing the clash detection of what is required, and giving back those inputs to the project managers who are working real time on this. So any kind of a clash which is there is solved on the virtual world before it is going to the physical world. This is definitely an enabler, and this person should have that extra knowledge to think about the real-time problems and give solutions in spite of not being on site regularly. So this is a quality manager, and he works on a project for say 6 months to 1 year, depending on the time frame what is going to be there. So he has to be there regularly, reviewing the models, updations, and he will have to give the inputs back on a weekly basis. Then we have the entry-level jobs. They are the BIM modelers. We take modelers in the architecture section, in the structural areas, and also in the MEP areas. They will be working on different aspects of the project. They will be working in teams with different other modelers also within the company. So this is the kind of opportunities which is available for anybody who is there with us. And I am happy that from BIMLABS we have been able to recruit a few people. And initially I was a bit skeptical about taking a person who is new, whether he is going to be useful, can you really utilize him. But luckily within 3 to 4 months I have seen that some of the people we have recruited from here, they have really met the objectives. We gave them a 3-month strenuous intensive internship where they were asked to work on real-time projects, and we had given them deadlines, and once that is over, we try to absorb them into our company basis the requirement what we have. Of course, it is not a one-way process, it is a two-way process. When there is a requirement in the industry, only then we can take more people. Otherwise, we will not be able to do that. This is something we are doing. So, this is in general what we have to offer for any person who is joining us in our organization. Now, coming back to the challenges, of course, I think my friend Prasad has already informed about the challenges. So, whatever I am facing is not different. We are a part of the same ecosystem, and I am going to face the same challenges. As a company, we believe that a person who joins us should grow, and of course, there will be a time when he will need to grow further. I understand today nobody can stay in one company for all his life, and I don't personally look at loyalty for 10 or 20 years. But definitely as an organization, I would look at a person gaining from the organization too. And that can't happen in 3 months or 6 months. 2 to 3 years is a normal time frame in which any professional can actually understand the process and also grow and imbibe additional skill sets. That skill sets, he can use it within the company or somewhere in the industry depending on the requirement. So that is something we look for. The person who is there with our organization should be able to grow with the organization, get those skills and move forward. That's something we see. Second aspect, what I find is the application of practical problems. Unfortunately, we in India, we have a functional mindset which come from the old caste system, and also today in colleges we have departments. A person within electrical, he is not interested in understanding MEP or not understanding construction or civil engineering. But in the industry that is not possible. We need people who are open and who will be able to understand the whole domain what is required. An electrical engineer can't be in isolation if he is not able to understand the mechanical aspects or the civil engineering aspects. So that's something which youngsters will have to come with an open mind to do all these activities. This I feel is very critical, and definitely this is a challenge I am facing. And to just give you an example, okay, I am from a different industry background. You would have all heard about Procter & Gamble. There they have a kind of a multi-skilling which they do, and a person who is in the factory, he understands all kinds of problems. That's very important, because if you want to look for solutions, you just can't be a specialist only on one domain. You need to have that vision or a horizon to have a wider scope. So that's something which I feel people who are looking at Eurosia should be open to. And that also helps a person, because a person, if he's able to do more than one domain, he becomes much more valuable in any industry wherever he goes. So this is definitely a challenge which I'm facing today. Of course, we are trying with our HR to give different systems over there to do it. The next aspect is, of course, we all don't have the knowledge or the time to look at every other domains, but we will need to keep improving our skill sets. We need to understand what are the practical problems a person on site can face. It is not only about simply trying to convert a drawing what is given to you into a digital sketch. So this is another challenge, and we are trying to see how our project managers from Europe will be able to help us in this. So the effort which is required from the individual is also important. These are two aspects which I would like to put it over here. And last, as an organization, we are also trying to look at well-being. Diversity is an important factor we're looking at. So when I came into the organization, I think I had around only 1 or 2 female candidates. Today I can say that 30% of my strength has women. I would like to keep it 50-50. That is what I would like to see. Diversity is something we look into. Second, employee well-being and wellness. We try to give employee a holistic way of working. There are industry ups and down circles. So when there is an industry which the customer demands more, the person needs to be flexible. And when there are lean seasons, that flexibility will also be given by the organization. So a holistic industry well-being for the person is also something which I'm looking for. And the last thing is, of course, we have got our regular insurance and those kind of safety systems which we are having. And whatever is being laid as the rule of the land, we'll be following that in total. So this is what I would like to say in general, and as I'll be happy to take up any questions later on what you all need to understand. And with this, I'll stop for now. Thank you, sir.
Now I invite Shreeram. Yes.
Hi. Good morning, all. First of all, congratulations to BIMLAB for their anniversary, and thank you for opportunity. Thank you for this opportunity to introduce my company in this forum. I am coming from Bond Interiors. We are specialized in interior designing and interior construction in Dubai. And now in Trivandrum we are a back office, and we are having a lot of departments like technical department for ID works, technical department, estimation department, planning department. Same for MEP also. MEP also the designing, estimation, everything we are taking care. And here regarding the opportunities, first we talk about nowadays we are having a lot of opportunities in all the sectors. Like in our company we are doing estimation, and in the designing field, that nowadays we are having the technical detailings and all. We are performing some technical detailings. That inputs we are receiving from the Dubai office. Now we are performing here. Same like all the departments we are doing that. Now we are having a lot of vacancies for various departments like technical, estimation, also in MEP. Further, yes. Further, I want to stress that as my co-panel members explained the process and things. So in the furthermore, I am also in the learning stage. So furthermore, I will be like answering the questions, if any, during the discussion. And thank you for the good opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Now we will have some interaction, and the floor is open for the Q&A. Before moving to the audience, I have a maybe question to 3 of you. Like you said about the requirements that you are having, like what is the requirement, or what are the vacancies are available in your organization. Now, are you okay with the pool that you are having, or are you facing any challenges in getting the candidates? When you start the recruitment process, what are the challenges that you face when you are starting the recruitment? Are you satisfied with that? Okay. So questions to 3 of you can ask.
Hello. Yeah, I already explained that we have challenges on that, getting the resources, but sometimes we're getting that, okay, because that we started our company on the right time, I believe, because we started on 2020 February 15. Then within a month, the corona effect and all India is locked. So we were all were in home, work from home, because we are a multinational company. Then we recruited the local people. They don't have any, they don't know what they want to do for us. Then they all are work, in a total different way that work from home. Okay, so that's a different experience. So answer to your question, we getting the people, because see, most of the people says that because I was in Middle East around 17 years, then I settled in Kerala last 2019 onwards. Then most of the people, my colleagues and my friends says, no, don't go to Kerala because you will not set, and because their total culture and everything will be different. Because I want to settle in Kerala, I like the place, I want to be here. Then they told me that if you're starting or you are heading this position, you will be getting a lot of challenge, because the people will, getting right people will be a first challenge. Then if you get the people, they will be always on leave on every Monday. I don't know what is that secret of that Monday. Then I came to here, then I understood that most of the people or the staff in the organization are leave on Monday. So I don't know what is the secret of behind that. Even I constructed my home recently, though most of the laborers are on leave on the Monday. So that's then the local leaves, like the festivals and all are more are here compared to the other countries. Like I'm comparing to the Middle East, but my company is based in Australia. So when compared to Australia and other places like Canada or in Europe, they're enjoying their life and they're keeping their work-life balance very smoothly. Like after 5 o'clock, they will not switch on their phone, or they will take our calls in business related, or the European or in another country. But in the Middle East, because we need to answer or we need to work on 24 hours or 7 to 24 hours, and the pressure like in we are in put in like a steam engine. So that's the pressure. Then always want in the yesterday or the task and everything.
So are you satisfied with the resource pool that you are getting?
Yeah.
To get the people. That's what.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying in the first session. Luckily I got the people. All are there within a track within the 3 months. All are within a track. Especially that people are from the 3 or 4 are people from BIMLABS.
So as a benchmark, to recruit one person, I will at least have to screen 25 different resumes.
25?
Resumes to get one person. After this, that's the kind of a ratio which I'm currently facing. So it's definitely a challenge. So there are 2-3 reasons over here. One is the kind of skill sets what are required. For a few positions, we require people who are freshers or with less experience. It's become a bit easier with BIMLABS over here. I've been able to take. And one point I would like to mention over here, the strenuous internship program we gave them. And we gave them a few targets to complete. And that team took the extra effort in completing this on time. So that's what, as an organization, I'm looking for. Second, let me come to people with experience. So I'm not able to get that industry experience, what is it? Even if I get a person, say he has around 2 years of industry experience, and then he has some understanding of BIM as a technology, he is not able to bring that industry experience in his work. That's definitely a challenge I'm facing today. Because when a person has to work with my project managers who are there in Europe, if they are able to give him an assignment, he should be able to understand the whole thing, synthesize that work, and deliver it without more help required over there. So this is definitely a challenge I'm facing. So yes, I would say this is an opportunity which organizations like BIMLABS will have to understand how they can bring the right kind of people with the experience, real-time experience in the industry, and how they will be able to apply that onto a virtual world in which we are doing that. So that's the second kind of challenge which I'm facing. Third, of course, at a macro level, as an ecosystem, unfortunately being in Trivandrum, I'm not able to bring the best of talent into this place. the talent is happier being in, say, in Cochin or in Bangalore. So that's definitely a challenge. Of course, this is something which the industry overall will have to think how they would have to bring this over here.
Okay. Thank you.
So these are the challenges overall.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yes. Thank you very much for your input. Like, maybe you have to look for more candidates, 25 CVs for one person. And also some of the experienced employees that you are getting the, challenges in that area also. Thank you. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. We are also facing the same trouble. As Mr. Babu said, same for one position. We are to review a lot of CVs. Actually, for one position, filling one technical detail, we have to go for around 15 to 20 CVs. And with that, even though they may studied, they may say that I have a knowledge in AutoCAD, I have a knowledge in REVIT, something like that. In the CVs and resumes, they are saying blah blah blah. But they have a lack of that some industry experience or lack of that input. Because we are getting some inputs from main office, and we have to take care that in our back office. So we facing that trouble in each and every departments, not only in technical. I am not saying that only this, but all the departments we are facing the same trouble.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So now the floor is open, and you can ask the questions. Yeah, sir. And also you can please mention from whom you want to get an answer, okay, or to anyone.
Yeah. As I said in just a couple of minutes ago, that we are undertaking the process of occupational mapping as far as this BIM subject is concerned. But leaving that apart, see, BIM has actually been made mandatory to be used in a country like UK by way of legislation. So that's the importance probably BIM has got in UK. But when you come to here, because I have seen all of you stating the problems that you are facing in terms of getting the right talent for your own works, like I'm sure you must have heard of Mr. Shreeram from Zoho, the success story which everybody reads. Like, if you are not getting the talent that you are looking for, go for a person with the right aptitude which suits your framework, train him and build the talent. That's the way to go ahead. Like, so that is what I would suggest. Maybe instead of you scrolling up for a lot of CVs, he goes for local talents, rural talents which suit their aptitude or his requirements. See, what you need to actually look for is that fitment between the person and the organizational values that you stand for. If that fitment you are getting it, I think you can train anybody on the earth and then go ahead taking that person. That's where I think you should look for. Because as and when the occupational mapping or the job roles get defined in a country like ours, fundamentally the main issue here is that when you look at the Industry 4.0 standards, it is all about comprehensive, holistic imagination. Like BIM is a kind of a technology which is giving you a life kind of cycle in the entire virtual model. Like, but then in construction, where we are still evolving, like even if you look back maybe 20 years back into the construction industry, we didn't have HR departments, to be very frank. Like, so the HR departments or support departments which are there today are in the very nascent stage of its evolution. Like, unlike the IT and ITES kind of industry where they are in a mature state of operation. Like, so it is. Besides that, another problem which is hurting the industry is that industry is working on the principle of that first you try, then I will try. They are working on that premise. So I think youngsters, young leaders like you should do it little innovatively and break that monotonous of what the conventional methodology of the industry has been. And that's where you can lead by example, by doing something away. If you're not getting people from your maybe catchment area, create something new which will work for you. That is what I will suggest.
Being an experienced person, what's your, what you would like to learn, or what is their challenges? You have any questions about that one? Anything that you would like to? You said that breaking the conventional method of.
That's what one of the models which I suggested was of Mr. Shreeram, who has actually tried it very innovatively.
Okay.
So that one way you should go it. See, your investment will never go waste. For example, L&T company has tied up with IIT Madras not today or yesterday. Their tie-up is going back to more than 25 years. Their people are nominated for various programs in IIT Madras. But the ex-deputy managing director, Dr. A. Ramakrishnan, who was there, who is no more today. But then when I asked him, he said 8 out of 10 people leave my organization after completing the course despite having a bond or maybe kind of an agreement with them. He says, I don't mind that. Because those people who are going out, I am giving a skilled manpower to the industry environment completely. And secondly is that let me focus on those two who are remaining with me. I think that's the horizon which you should think about and then start up.
Okay, thank you.
You will not stop anywhere across if you adopt to this changing requirements of the business. Idea is to be in the business, not today, tomorrow, but forever. That should drive your motive. Okay?
Thank you.
So just coming back to the problem that was mentioned by honorable members regarding the talent pool availability and hiring them. So I feel that more or less industry and academia are seen as two separate islands. So unless and until we bring them close together, this issue will never get addressed. There might be temporary workarounds, but unless and until, industry needs to have confidence in the academia.
Can you come to this specific question?
So specifically, so what probably for the talent management, probably one of the way forward is why not look for a consortium sort of arrangement where you can establish a center of excellence in a couple of our colleges across the state and train them along with their academics, so that once they pass out or in the final year, you have a batch of talented students who are productive from day one.
Okay, thank you.
Can you answer this question? Okay. Thank you for putting it up and what the previous person also said. On the first part, when I joined the organization, I had less diversity in my organization. So that was a conscious choice we did, that we were not able to get this from the industry. So we started recruiting people from places like BIMLABS to increase that. And the second point, what you said as what Shreeram has done. Definitely, we'll make our steps in that direction. But the second thing is, as an organization, the sustainability for me in the short run is equally important. Only then I can build myself for the longer run. I am expanding myself to do that, and I will take your point and I will see how I can put this in the next plans when I'm doing it. Thank you for that. In terms of this, there is definitely a vacuum. This is not only today. In any country across the world, you see, there is a way in which the academia functions and the way in which the industry looks into this. So that is where there is an opportunity, and that's where I feel BIMLABS is coming into it, and they're trying to fill this vacuum in the ecosystem. And industry can't do everything. The industry is supposed to look after its customers or its clients, and that's a prime thing what has to happen. The ecosystem around this must also evolve. That's something we can do. And centers of excellence in college, there is a limitation today for my company directly. I need people also with experience, because what we are doing today, tomorrow this technology, we will not be standalone companies 5 years, 10 years from today. The construction industry must absorb this technology. That's the way forward over here. So what you said can be, say, 10% of the solution, but it can't be a complete solution for. I need people with experience in the industry, people who understand infrastructure, people who understand construction, and they will be able to apply this into the virtual world in which we are doing. That's it.
Thank you.
I think I've recruited 100,000 people in my last 30 years. So I think 30 years back we also talked about IQ. I think today we need EQ also, right? So that's one issue. The second issue of getting people from the industry, I think, why should you look at Indians alone? Why should you look at Indians alone to work for you? That's the world we live in. When so much of Indians work abroad, we are the largest expat community in the world. So diversity, and of course now coming back to when you recruit, I think some time back we have done that in Dubai and other places. We sort of simulate the environment, we use simulation. Today, by September, you're getting 5G, and you have all these technologies available where you can take a person exactly to a construction site using all those technologies. That is the third point. And regarding Trivandrum, since I was brought up in Trivandrum, I think 50 years back, Dubai was a fishing village, and today, Trivandrum Airport, and we are working with multiple agencies to get all the international airlines to fly directly from Trivandrum. We are working for Trivandrum Port. 40% of our cargo goes outside Trivandrum. All of us know that. And the only deep sea port in India is going to be Viഴിഞ്ഞം. And we have got some of the finest institutions in Trivandrum. 1962, we put the first flight, we put the first rocket up, So Trivandrum is a base for space. I worked with Keltron. Initially, we built almost all the first consumer products in electronics came out from Keltron in India. We built India's first technology. So Trivandrum has got a plus. So I think you should be happy that you're in Trivandrum now. The vision for Trivandrum 2030 is definitely going to be your question, please. No, I was just suggesting some things to you.
Okay.
Like to look to why do you confine yourself to selecting people from the industry background? Because you can always develop them using simulation technology and other things.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, I would like to ask as a student, how can I be industry ready from the beginning of the studies? Like, how can I improve myself for being an industry worker?
Yeah. Who would like to answer?
The question is, you want to start in a career, how it's possible? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that in the morning session itself, there are many organizations that are doing the industry-based courses, like add-on courses, including the BIMLABS they are doing. Then we as a company, we are recruiting directly from the BIMLABS. And recently that even the government of Kerala also have the many program. Recently they have a program called Ignite. Internship. So you need to register in that Ignite. I don't know who and all know that Ignite was recently launched, because exactly you asked the question. That's the questions from the many of the students from the. So government is addressing that. So they have started a program that Ignite. So 6-month program is Ignite. That government paying that 5,000 rupees per month for the candidates, and that same equal to that 5,000 need to pay by the industry, the firms. Okay, so total 10,000 you will get it up to 6 months. That's the program. So that kind of a program is available. And the another thing is the LinkedIn. The one of the most or the Facebook or in the Instagram, same like in the social media, is a job searching, or the professional social media is LinkedIn. So when we RDS, all our job opportunities are published in LinkedIn, but we are getting, like, if I'm getting a 50 applications through LinkedIn, in 40 of them is from another states, like Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, or in Maharashtra. Very less people are applying through LinkedIn from Kerala. So I don't know what's the reason behind that one. So you need to look at on LinkedIn. Even there are many opportunities, like in the Middle East market, especially in Saudi. There are many companies are recruiting now people around after the trainees and all that directly through the LinkedIn. So you need to actively looking on the LinkedIn. You can work from home if you have software and hardware. So there are many multinational companies are looking through the LinkedIn. So I think I answered your question.
Thank you. But for the last 2 years, many of these engineering colleges have conducting their the curriculum. They are trying to complete the curriculum in the periods to complete the examinations and all. So I think even my child also, they are just preparing only for the exams, not for the content oriented. I think the question is like that: you have any inhibitions to the pass outs for the coming years? I think for the 2021, 22, 2023. So you know that now people they have the certificate with the marks and grades. But for your expertise, for your view of recruitment, so whether they have the enough qualification inside. So because they have prepared well for the industry oriented level, or otherwise you have any idea for the students whether the startups like BIMLABS or something, whether they can do some finishing school project, finishing industry oriented curriculum or something. So you have any suggestion to the students, the future pass outs, whether or else the people are completing in between 2023 or 2024?
So answering your first question, we don't discriminate between a person who has passed out before Corona or after Corona. So that you can assure from me. Second, if there is a person who comes to me with the right attitude, okay, I believe skills can be trained. I strongly believe in this. So this is to answer the first part of your question. Second part, yes, what can the finishing school do, like BIMLABS? They can actually interact more with us and they can take the real-time industry problems. Of course, we can't share client information to them, but the basic structure of how problems are being solved in the industry, that can be given to them. So that can give them the initial exposure to how the industry wants to look at it. And as a student who's coming out, he should understand that the way institutions function is very different. We have a syllabus, a structured program, but real-time problems are totally different. So he should be willing to take half of the information and put that extra mile to go forward and do this. So this can only happen when he's going to use his leaves that time for doing some internships. If there is a civil engineer, he needs to actually go to a site, understand construction process, how it is evolving. So that makes him more prepared to actually solve problems in future. So this is my take on this. Hope I have been able to answer your question.
I just want to add that, okay, after Corona or during Corona, we never ask certificate till this moment or our staff, okay, during the interview. Okay, any certificate, education, qualification or in the BIM certification. Only we just interview them. And we have a technical test, that's it. Thank you.
One thing. Actually, many of the person from academia, I think we have audience from civil and mechanical and electrical also. But all our discussion based on digital construction. So everybody thinking that it's only for civil engineering. So a lot of mechanical professors here. So this is a challenge. Actually, when we are approaching mechanical engineering department, they will used to say, what's our role in the construction site? So if you can put some light on that, they will also plan for something.
Fine. Okay, I will come back to my original statement over here. Unfortunately, we have a functional mindset. So that's from where all this comes. If an engineer is going to say, I will only do electrical or I will only understand mechanical, then at least in the long run in the industry, he will not be there. To take my example, I started off as an electrical engineer and that certificate was useful only for the first 3.5-4 years. After that, it was the experience which I gained from those companies and the knowledge which I've had is helping me. Today, I have to understand recruiting and HR problems. I need to understand financial problems. I also need to understand how the euro and the dollar is fluctuating before I can take some decisions. So that's a metamorphosis which has to happen as a person evolves. So as a benchmark, I would say, or as a ballpark figure, it is 70-30 or 60-40. 60% or 70% of the skills which I require should be based on the civil, the structural and architectural background. But the remaining 30%, which is equally important for me, is definitely the HVAC systems, the plumbing knowledge, the electrical systems, all this counts. So if I have a person who is doing the lighting design over there, and if he is telling me he is not understanding the civil aspects, then it is not going to be useful. So we need all this. We need all these skills over here. And the person who's integrating this, the project manager, should have a macro understanding of all the functions. Only then we'll be able to make a project successful. So imagine you go into a house where a person is telling it is made by a civil engineer, the foundation and structure is strong, but your HVAC systems or your lighting will not function. Are we going to use it? We will not use it. So that's my take on this.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. I want to. Yeah. So nothing more. You just think about this room. You can see the lights are there, acoustic panels are there. Then there's the Vinny that's the IT thing. He's the person. So I'm the architect of structure. We do very minimal in the MEP, but so Eurosia is a specialist in the MEP. So if we want to model this room in a BIM model for this room, what are the things you can see? Just the lights are there, AC are there, and the flooring is there, and acoustic panels are there. So the majority is MEP, I believe, here. So that's it. I don't want to add anything.
Thank you. Shreeram, you would like to add? Yes. That is a coordination work. Basically, it is a coordination work. It comes from the experience I know. So we are training. Nowadays, we are recruiting some. Yes, we are recruiting and we are giving some trainings to them. Each and every aspect of our. We are giving some roles and we are training each and every aspect. Yes, the coordination work that will be coming from the experience only, sure. Okay. Thank you.
Nowadays, it's a trend that youngsters are, after completing their graduation, going abroad, mainly Western countries. So, what they can expect, that what are the opportunities that in India, there's a BIM companies offers them?
So, about RDS, we are working 100% projects in outside India. Okay, we are not doing any projects in India. Then all our employees are in India. Okay, so they will get exposure or the experience for the international projects. The candidates from Kerala or in India. So that's the first opportunity. Then the benefit of the candidates for working like as Robert or Eurosia also same thing, they're doing the Europe project. So if you are looking for a, like now the trend is in the, most of the people are going abroad like Canada, Europe, they're trying to migrate there. So in that concept, they're getting the experience that the Europe or the international project experience from Kerala. So that's a huge benefit for them.
Thank you, sir.
Clients or customers who are there in Europe predominantly and somewhere in the US also. Going forward, we are also trying to give opportunities for our engineers who will be traveling there and doing the models real time, being on site, because that's an evolution which has to happen. Coming to India, of course, BIM is still at its nascent stage and we are looking at doing this. I know that companies like L&T or Shapoorji Pallonji, they have got their own BIM teams over there working. Nagpur Metro was done entirely on BIM. If you look at Kochi, they have got a team which is also having BIM to do their metro services. It's an evolution which happens. And let us not be looking at only a construction activity has to happen over there. During the life of the entire building, you will need to make changes and modifications to this. So BIM as a process has to be there everywhere. In India, of course, legislations will have to become more strong. And of course, BIM will need to be given the incentive at a policy level. So this is adopted faster by various companies. One opportunity I would even think company like what BIMLABS can also look at is how can you make those construction industries to be BIM enabled very fast. In Chavara, we have got an institution which is doing construction infrastructure. So there they have BIM also as a package which is given over there. So the baby steps are being taken in this country, but the faster the industry can actually adopt this technology, you will have more opportunities in India also coming your way.
we are a company doing each and every project. That's all projects in Dubai only, Dubai UAE countries only. We out of 10 projects nowadays, 3 to 4 projects, yes, they are involving BIM in it, but this is nowadays, very recently only. So now slowly it is coming. It is coming to the technology is coming very. It may adopt very soon, but nowadays it is very slowly coming, because out of the 10 projects, maybe 2 projects it's coming. So in future, maybe as previously said, into 2030, maybe it is like all projects may be BIM involved in all the stages, not only in the initial stage, not only in the final stage, from the initial stage to the final stage. So obviously there will be opportunities in the future. Nowadays, yeah, it is developing now. My point is now it is developing.
First, what we need to understand is what is the value which this technology is going to give that company is very important. What is this technology trying to solve? That's more important over here. So one example what I can just tell you is, you have different functions which are working over here. You will have your HVAC systems working, you will have your plumbing guys working on the same project. And when they all do their designs, they will do it in isolation first. And when they try to put everything together, you will find a lot of issues. And if you are going to solve all this real-time on-site, you are going to delay the project, you will have a lot of cost overruns over there. So the first thing what these companies need to do is, they will need to look at the kind of extra costs which they are spending in terms of completing the project, and how this technology can be used to reduce that. If they are able to understand that, then it becomes easier for people to start this work. And initially, of course, the knowledge need not be available inside the organization. So what they will need to look at is, look at specialists or look at companies who are using BIM and use that knowledge. So it can be outsourcing, but outsourcing won't work for a long term. It can be a short term approach. Long term, it has to be more about a collaborative approach. And as things progress, what ultimately has to happen is, as a merger what happens or an acquisition what happens, these companies will have to take the BIM people within their organization. That is where the real value is going to be found. This is my
presentation skill for your recruitments, because in addition to the technical machine test, you also give process like GD and all now. So how much importance is given for a presentation skill?
How much? Yeah. How much?
Your question is that how much importance the presentation of GA, is that right? Group discussion. I never do that group discussion in my recruitment. So because I told already, we never look at the certification. We just face-to-face interview and the attitude and the passion about the skill. That's what we're looking at.
Okay. So I think looking at your hard skills and the soft skills, both are equally important. Might be for a fresher who joins an organization, his technical skills are important initially. But as he's progressing, that is less important. It's important in the way in which he's able to deal with people and ask those things. So your soft skills are equally important. If I have a person who's good at doing a work, but he's unable to communicate effectively with my client, then he's okay to do that job, but his career progress will be impeded because he's not having those skills. So as individuals or people who want to come into the industry, please take care of your soft skills also. It's important. Especially in Kerala, people don't want to speak in English. It's a problem which I face. Okay, so that is something which students themselves will have to break and go forward. Because if you want to discuss something with a person who's sitting in US or in some other part of the world, you would have to speak his language. Today, if I find a person who understands, say, French, even if he's at an A1 or an A2 level, he would be very useful for my organization today. So that's important. At this point, let us accept reality. This technology is utilized more in the developed countries. It is still not fully utilized over here. So if you want to get the opportunity, you will need to have those skills also. Soft skills are equally important. So if a person is good in JD and if he can do this, I'll be happy to take him. I'll give him priority over the other person. That's it. No, we don't use GDs, but of course the HR when the HR is discussing, they are able to understand. I look at the way in which he is able to communicate with the customer if it is required. So without that, it's not possible. You can't live in isolation.
Sir, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm a young engineer who's working in BIM right now. So every activity which we do on site as well as off site, it's directly implemented on site. So when one site, like basically everyone have sites in different places. Different places like one may be in Trivandrum, one may be in Cochin, one may be in Kozhikode, and one may be in Bangalore. Or as you told, it is in Europe and other places. So the base data of different places are different. And if the place doesn't have the base data for planning as well as managing, like labor productivity, labor activities and all, no. So if the place doesn't have that particular data, how to manage and how to bridge the gap between that?
I think you have brought out the classical problems what industry is facing today. Today, if I want to do something for a customer who's in US, I don't have all the standards with me. It's a problem we are facing. So yes, that is where your way in which you are able to communicate effectively with the person over there is more important for us today. And if you look at the industry, there is something called as a certification, something in line with ISO. It is called as IS 19650 as a standard, is evolving in BIM. So you are going to have this kind of standardization which is going to happen. So when the project at its initial conceptual stage itself, the BIM program is being clearly documented over there. So this is the way in which you will be able to find a structural solution to this. And of course, as individuals, what we need to understand is the way in which the design aspects are done in this country is quite different from what is required in Dubai or what is required somewhere else. So you should have people who have those skill sets or that knowledge.
Sir, I was talking about not about the design part. I was talking about the labor productivity part, the planning part as well as the management part.
Okay. Fine.
Basically, for design you have that IS codes, but for labor productivity there is no data available.
See, when it is coming to BIM, on the virtual world, you are not going to do it physically over there. That is where your 4D BIM comes into use over there. 4D can be used over there, but end of the day, the work has to happen on site. So productivity on site is not something which the person doing BIM can control. But yes, he can make the design in such a way that it is going to make it more friendly over there. The productivity can be made more friendly, enabled over there. This is one aspect we can look into. So of course, I am not fully aware of how this can be implemented, but this is my process on this.
Yeah. That data can be available to each organization. Like for a construction company or a contractor, they have a thumb rule or they have a data from the previous project. They have already the data for that. The one mason this much productive concrete can pour it, or the formwork can be this many area, this square meter can be completed. That data will be available to each construction company.
So but from one place to another, no. So the availability of the labor also changes. That's what I was like. If the site changes, so if it is one is in Delhi and one is in Trivandrum, so the availability as well as the coefficient changes.
No, one country, for example, one code it's like a standard. So 1 cubic meter concrete can pour one basin. That, for example, the PWD have a data. 1 cubic meter concrete have a pouring. This many labor. They have a data book. So same like each organization have a Middle East or international. There is a data available.
Thank you.
Maybe we are slightly.
That is the most probably pending thing from a country like India. There are no productivity norms which are be able to be applied across the country in a similar manner as you said. I may know who had asked this question. Yeah. So definitely there is a problem there, but just to mention you, there were norms which were mentioned by CPWD, PWD and even military engineering services. Okay. But then these are again evolved either basis experience or basis thumb rules, as one of the panel members said. but then they cannot be in generic applied across every location of the country. Like, so to come up with that, we have started one more exercise just last week itself. Every job role will be coming up with a range of productivity norms, quality norms, standard norms, and ease of working norms. You must have heard of ease of business doing norms, like. But we are coming out also with ease of working norms for a construction worker, especially, or a technician or operator. Like, you can't expect him to give the same productivity across various locations in the difficult conditions. Like, so these norms are going to be coming as part of your qualification pack, which will be approved by NCVT, and with all 4 specifications on that, you will have this in the coming months. Like, maybe 16 to 36 weeks, we are completing this exercise pan-India. Like, so thereafter, once the NCVT approves, this will be available publicly. At least to start with at least 100 job roles. Like, okay?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have slightly, deviated from the topic, but it is good. Always sharing the knowledge is very good. Okay, so thank you, and I think this is the time to conclude the session. And of course, in the morning, as I said earlier, we were listening to the various opportunities in this industry, and of course, we were listening to Mr. Deshpande in the morning, and he was telling that our opportunities are going to be 20 crore, and all the students and the education academia need to be accelerated to meet that. So the takeaways from this discussion is, we need to create an ecosystem. That's very important. And he was telling about the challenges that he's facing, like, he's bringing a person to the Thiruvananthapuram, or the geographical, I don't say the disadvantages, but geographical challenges. But now that can be solved, even the work from home, all those things are available. But the ecosystem is very important. You should have to, as one of the panelists said, the organization like BIMLABS, they can look at the real-time issues. And that real-time issues can be made a part of their, their education or their instruction process. Then the industry will be very much benefited. And the other thing is for the students community, they explore the opportunities. There is a lot of opportunities are there. And even one of the panelist members were telling that, when he is looking into the LinkedIn profiles, the very few people from the Kerala is applying. So explore those opportunities, and we will be able to meet the expectations of the recruiter. And beyond all this, it's very important that the communication, the importance of communication, that's very important. Like, we have hard skills and soft skills. Maybe most of the employer, being an HR professional, I would say that I would be more looking into the attitude than the knowledge and skills. Of course, we will look into that one, but attitude is very important. And, have some, improve your communication skills so that you can interact with the employer and also with the client, and you can so that you can improve the contribute to the organization. That's something very important. So learn the soft skills and practice the soft skills. Learning, more than learning, practicing the soft skill is very important. So these are the takeaways from this session. And once again, thanks to our panel members, Prasad, Govindan, and Babu Gopalakrishnan and Shreeram N. Thank you very much. And let them give a big round of applause.
Thank you, sirs. Now I would like to welcome CEO Shreeram to present the panelists with a memento.